Meantime, protesters held a rally outside of Essentia Health earlier today.
Now, that rally is hosted by the Minnesota DFL, taking aim at Republicans in Congress and President Trump's big, beautiful bill.
Hey, hey, ho, ho, Pete Sauber has got to go. Hey, hey.
And protesters lined 2nd Street and 6th Avenue with signs voicing their concerns about the federal cuts to health care. They argue the bill will drive up insurance premiums and cut off coverage to millions of Minnesotans. Minnesota DFL Party Chair Richard Carlbaum and Duluth State Rep Pete Johnson spoke at the event. Johnson says it's up to local representatives to speak up for greater Minnesota.
At the federal level right now, instead of just saying, well, if you go do this, I'll do this, just get together and have a discussion on what we have to do to get the government back open, get those folks back to work, make it so people can afford their insurance as we go forward.
Now, one protester who attended today's rally is from Cook and says the spikes to insurance premiums are simply unacceptable.
They want to limit health care monies, which means closing clinics, basically limiting access to health care for a lot of people, and that's a problem, and we don't want to have that happen.
According to leaders of the rally, the proposed cuts could force nearly a dozen clinics and hospitals in greater Minnesota to close their doors.
Well, we reached out to Congressman Pete Stauber for his response on this event, and Stauber said that Democrats are to blame for rising health insurance premiums because they passed Obamacare. Stauber went on to say that he and his Republican colleagues are happy to help Democrats, quote, clean up their mess, but they must first reopen the government.